I don't remember, was it a couple of weeks ago or like a month ago, we reacted to a Tom Waits song, which was pretty good, an introduction to the artist. And a lot of people said not a introduction that was very representative of most of his body of work. So we're going to be returning with this song by Tom Waits called Tom Traubert's Blues, Four Sheets to the Wind in Copenhagen. So yeah, 7 minutes long. I'm excited to check this out. If you're new to the channel, my name is Daniel, and here we react to music, and I try to figure out what the music and the lyrics mean to me personally, and then we do research on what the artists intended, and just look at comments on genius.com and Wikipedia most of the time. So if that sounds interesting to you, or if you just like reaction videos like this, consider subscribing. You know, it really helps, and let's get right into it. Here we go. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having an awesome day. 3, 2, 1, Tom Waits.
Wasted and wounded, it ain't what the moon did. God, what I paid for now. See you tomorrow. Hey, Frank, can I borrow a couple of bucks from you to go waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. I'm an innocent victim of a blinded alley, and I'm tired of all these soldiers here. No one speaks English.
All right, just rewound it a little bit. Sorry about that. My mom came down here. Technically, I'll use this as a pausing point to say, wow, very, very unique vocals. Like, the first song that I reacted to didn't really... Like, he had gritty vocals, but now this is on a whole new level. I wonder, should I pull up the lyrics while I'm listening to it so that, like I understood him say waltzing Matilda. I heard some of this, but not all of it, so I might just have the lyrics pulled up while listening to it for this one. Let's keep going.
And I'm tired of all these soldiers here. No one speaks English and everything's broken.
There's so much emotion
and my
in his voice.
stasis are soaking wet. To go waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. Now the dogs are barking and the taxi cab's parking. A lot they can do for me.
Damn.
I begged you to stab me. You tore my shirt open, and I'm down on my knees tonight. Old Bushmills, I staggered. You buried the dagger. Your silhouette window light. To go waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. Now I lost my St. Christopher, now that I've kissed her, and the one-armed bandit knows, and the maverick Chinaman in the cold-blooded signs, and the girls down by the sing Matilda with me.
Wow.
No, I don't want your sympathy. The fugitives say that the streets aren't for dreaming now. Manslaughter, dragnets, and the ghosts that sell memories. They want a piece of the action anyhow. Go, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. And you can ask any sailor, and the keys from the jailer, and the old men in wheelchairs know that Matilda's the defendant. She killed about 100, and she follows wherever you may go. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you go waltzing Matilda with me. And it's a battered old suitcase to a hotel someplace, and a wound that will never heal. No prima donna, the perfume is on an old shirt that is stained with blood and whiskey. And good night to the street sweepers, the night watchmen, flame keepers, and good night, Matilda.
Oh my god. I'm not even sure what to say, because I was almost like crying, and I don't even know half of what he was like. The words he was using was painting images in my head, but I'm not certain that those are what he intended, you know? I mean, maybe they were. Yeah, man, every time he sang Go Waltzing Matilda, it's such a great line, actually. What does this mean? Name of Australia's best love song in slang for walking on foot with one's goods. In Australian, it's the classic bush song, bush being Australian for wilderness. In the original song, a migrant worker commits suicide by drowning himself in the nearby watering hole after being falsely accused for theft, after which his ghost haunts the site. Tom Waits went to Copenhagen in 1976 and met a young fellow musician, Matilda Bondo. It is said that meeting her is part of his inspiration for writing this song. Such a good song, man. What are some of the comments? I heard the Rod Stewart version and thought it was pretty good. Oh, so Rod Stewart covered this. Have we done any Rod Stewart? I don't think we have. We'll have to do it at some point. Anyway, and I heard Tom's original. I'm nearly 70 and I've been listening to music all my life. Well, nearly. This stopped me in my tracks. I just burst into tears, as I have each time since. This is beautiful, tragic, emotionally shattering, and makes me feel human. You're never as in touch with your emotions as when you cry. And Tom can make you laugh and cry, and sometimes at the same time. Thank you, Tom. Damn, what a great comment. It's a battered old suitcase to a hotel someplace, and a wound that will never heal still stands as possibly one of the greatest lyrics ever written. This is what I actually thought the song was about. So this person says, I'm a recovering alcoholic, but I still get the urge to drink from time to time. I listen to the song of a stranger in a strange land, totally drunk and lost. and it brings me back, and the urge to drink passes. My doctors tell me if I were to continue to waltz with Matilda, that it would kill me way before my time. I listened to them, got sober, and I'm due for a liver transplant in a year or so. I would have been dead a long time ago if it weren't for this song. Thank you, Tom Waits, for helping me stay sober. Damn. My mother loves this song, 70. I love this song, 33. And my daughter loves this song, 7. Can't say more about the power of music than that. My beloved son was Tom Waits' biggest fan. He was so moved and inspired as a musician by him. Flowed on a soaring and harmonious note, forevermore, my beautiful son. I waltz with you in my arms as your mother in spirit for eternity. Fly. All right. Yeah, this is incredible. Let's take a look at the exact lyrics and what Genius has to say about them. The opening track, so it's a man wandering around drunk in a city, and that's why the lyrics were almost like just a bunch of little phrases, kind of like what Bob Dylan did a little bit in It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, or like what Bob Dylan does a lot actually with like surrealist lyrics almost. The opening track off what many consider to be Waits' masterpiece, Small Change. Bones Howie, the album's producer, recalls when Waits first came to him with the song. He said the most wonderful thing about writing that song. He went down and hung around on Skid Row in LA because he wanted to get stimulated for writing this material. He called me up and he said, I went down to Skid Row and I bought a pint of rye in a brown paper bag. I said, oh really? Yeah, I hunkered down, drank the pint of rye, went home, threw up, and wrote Tom Traubert's Blues. Every guy down there, everyone I spoke to, a woman put him there. Oh. Waltzing Matilda. The song was inspired by Waits' meeting with Danish musician Mathilda Bondo during a live performance in Sydney, Australia. Waits said about the song's origins, I met this girl named Matilda, and I had a little too much to drink that night. This is about throwing up in a foreign country. What a beautiful song. Wasted and wounded, it ain't what the moon did. I've got to pay for now. I got what I paid for now. See you tomorrow. Hey Frank, can I borrow a couple of bucks from you to go waltzing Matilda, you'll go waltzing Matilda with me. Yeah, he's drinking. The narrator is sick, injured, and probably on his last leg. A full moon was believed to stir up madness in some. The word lunatic is derived from lunar. The narrator is saying that the moon, the heavens, God, plain bad luck, all metaphors for one and the same thing, is not culpable for how he ended up like this. Wasted and wounded. He has only himself to blame, which he avows in the very next line, I got what I paid for now. The narrator suggests that he deserves to be where he is. The line, when considered with the general tone of the song, suggests that he spent all his money on whiskey and prostitutes. See you tomorrow. In spite of the extremely melancholy picture Tom just painted, he's going back to the same place, and he knows it. This could be taken literally, as standing for an addiction to this, or both. Hey, Frank. Worse yet, he cannot even afford to continue wallowing in this state. Again, this could represent not only becoming a needy beggar financially, but a decline into desperately seeking emotional support. Frank is the name of Tom's real-life father. His name is also mentioned in Frank's wild years. Now the dogs are barking and the taxi cab's parking. A lot they can do for me. I begged you to stab me, and you tore my shirt open, and I'm down on my knees tonight. Old Bushmills, I staggered. You buried the dagger, your silhouette window light. These lyrics are so good. Holy cow. Yet more bleak imagery, this time of animals chained up wanting to attack and vehicles willing to take him away for the right price. The previous lyric, a couple of bucks, suggests, however, that he is broke. He probably can't even afford a cab. Asking for a woman to end his suffering, she takes his clothes off. These lyrics juxtapose suicidal violence, absolute surrender, and sexuality. The person tearing his shirt open could be a prostitute, a lover, or even someone assaulting him. Bushmills is Irish whiskey staggering and suggests taking odd swigs of it, with this being an unpleasant drinking. The word stagger evokes imagery of him drunkenly stumbling along. This seems to draw from the song Delilah, made famous by Tom Jones, wherein the narrator takes a knife to a cheating lover. In this case, there is no jealous retribution, only grief, and the knife is metaphorically buried and waits as he sees the situation unfold. Now I lost my St. Christopher now that I've kissed her, and the one-armed bandit knows, and the maverick Chinaman, and the cold-blooded signs, and the girls down by the striptease shows. St. Christopher is the patron saint of travelers. Often people on long journeys will bring a small necklace or statuette of him to bless their travels. Tom probably doesn't have one, but he's lost his St. Christopher because he feels like his blessings have run out, and he's just a drunk, depressed, alienated, infatuated stranger in a foreign country. A one-armed bandit is a slot machine, so called because it has one arm, the lever that you pull, and because it robs you. The one-armed bandit knows that Tom's lost his St. Christopher for two reasons. Firstly, because he's turning to gambling, and second, because he's losing. This line can be read in two ways. It can be seen as a continuation of the phrase, and the one-armed bandit knows, meaning that the girls also know the narrator is bound to this place as he keeps returning. The song is almost like he's cursed. It can also be read as continuing into the waltzing Matilda part. This would indicate that some of the strippers also suffer tragic fates of like homelessness. Well, yeah, that's almost a given. No, actually, not always. But sometimes it is. No, I don't want your sympathy. The fugitives say that the streets aren't for dreaming now. They aren't for dreaming now. Manslaughter, dragnets, and the ghost that sells memories. They want a piece of the action anyhow. Go waltzing Matilda, you'll go waltzing Matilda with me. You could ask any sailor, and the keys from the jailer, and the old men in wheelchairs know that Matilda's the defendant. She killed about 100, and she follows wherever you may go. This is such a... yeah, wow. Waltzing Matilda means carrying your belongings with you. Tom Waits told Bones how, in relation to this song, every guide down in Skid Row told me a woman put him there. Matilda could be a symbol for every woman who wronged a guy. Also reflected in previous verse where he addresses burying a dagger in the narrator, and made his life spiral into misery. Most aged men, old men in wheelchairs, but also sailors and others have had that somebody in their lives. The other verses transition naturally from go to waltzing Matilda like the girls down by the striptease shows go, but these two lines share the go without making it make any sense grammatically. She follows you wherever you may go. Matilda literally follows wherever you may go as close as possible by her intruding on the previous line, okay? It does make sense grammatically, though. She follows wherever you may go. Yeah. Anyway. And this line right here, like they said earlier, this line really stuck out to me when I was just hearing the song for the first time. It's a battered old suitcase to a hotel someplace and a wound that will never heal. No prima donna, the perfume is on. An old shirt that's stained with blood and whiskey. And good night to the street sweepers, the night watchman flame keepers, and good night to Matilda too. Now this could be taken literally as he's probably falling asleep on his feet, lays down in an alley. Or maybe he has someone he can go to, Matilda perhaps. Or maybe this is the end for him. He's already begged someone to end his life, and maybe the sun's going down. From Wild Years, the music and myth of Tom Waits. Bones, the album's producer, said, occasionally I'll do something for songwriters. They all say the same thing to me. All the great lyrics are done. And I say, I'm going to give you a lyric that you've never heard before. A battered old suitcase to a hotel someplace and a wound that will never heal. Brilliant. The work of an extremely talented lyricist, poet, whatever you want to say. That is brilliant, brilliant work. And he never mentions the person, but you see that person. Yeah. All right. That is Tom Waits. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing this name. Traubert's Blues. 4 Sheets to the Wind in Copenhagen. Yeah. All right. Wow. Thank you for joining me. That's Tom Waits. I hope you're having a good day. Yeah. I don't even know what else to say, so... if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing if you like this type of stuff. And I will see you soon. Deathstroke 9. out. Stay tuned for more videos, and yeah, all right.